In order for someone to protect themselves, to stand their ground, to be assertive, to say yes and no, and to actually mean it, so to have boundaries instead of walls, and for them to express their true self so that they can act like an individual who is able to fulfill their own needs and feelings, they will need to be in touch with their fight instinct or their aggression. And along with being in touch with this part, it will need to be integrated with the rest of them. And when it is integrated, they won't come across as overly aggressive or be a people pleaser. And from the outside, it might not even seem as though they possess any aggression whatsoever. And the fight instinct or aggression, the aggressive instinct, can be seen as being located below someone's hips. And as this is the part of them that will allow them to do all the things I've mentioned and to be driven and to have motivation, it will give them the drive. It is clear to see how important this instinct is. But even though it is so important in allowing someone to live a fulfilling life, it doesn't mean that everyone is in touch with this instinct. Now, of course, there can be people out there who are controlled by this instinct, and they can come across as aggressive and can destroy things and be very violent. But there can also be others that are out of touch with this instinct. And because of this, it can be normal for them to be walked over, to say yes when they'd rather say no. They can have trouble saying no. They can basically be a people pleaser and act as though they are an extension of others. And they can find it hard to achieve things and to be motivated. They can basically spend a lot of time feeling depressed and have no energy. And it can be as though they are missing something. They are missing a sense of vitality and the energy that they need to truly face life. And one reason why someone would be out of touch with this part of them is because of early trauma. So when they were younger, they may have been brought up in an environment where it wasn't safe for them to exist, let alone to protect themselves. So perhaps there was some kind of abuse and neglect. And because it was so dangerous during this time, so they wouldn't have had the safety, security, or the love that they needed to develop. This would have been a time when it was simply about surviving. So because it wasn't safe for them to protect themselves, they would have had to lose touch with this instinct. Because trying to defend themselves would have made it even harder for them to survive. So losing touch with this instinct would have allowed them to stay alive. So this would have been an adaptive behaviour, and now it will be maladaptive. So what served them during this time in their life will now be harming them. And when it comes down to reintegrating this instinct, it is naturally not going to happen overnight. There can be lots of fear, terror and rage deep within them that needs to be worked through so they can re-embrace this instinct and to reconnect to their body. And when it comes down to working through this trauma that has stayed within them for all these years, they may need to reach out for the assistance of a therapist or a healer, and this will be time where they will need to engage in some kind of body work, because playing around with their thoughts is not going to serve them, because their body could be in a frozen state in general. So they will need to develop their system to become stronger so they can contain and work through the trauma that is within them. So if you can relate to this, please reach out for the assistance that you need to transform your life.